Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Saturday Boys, where every day is a Saturday. Come hang out with us as we chat about video games, music, movies, all over nice, cold drinks. My name is Nick, and I'm joined by Anthony.
Hey.
And Brandon.
Hello.
And we've got some fun drinks today. We're all festive. I'm excited for this. We've been working on making these drinks for 15 minutes now, putting all these together.
Yes.
They are a lot, but they look delicious, and I'm excited to start digging in. What are we drinking today?
So the first part of what we're drinking is, so this is the Snickertini. So I made my own peanut butter vodka, and then I did a shot of that with a shot of creme de cacao, and then I mixed that with some almond milk. On the bottom of each glass, I did a pentagram in chocolate syrup. It didn't look like it afterwards, but I did do a pentagram, and then it all just
We believe you. I saw you working on it.
And then it's got this little Reese garnish.
I know, right? It looks delicious. I'm excited to dig into this.
The
cheers,
vodka
guys.
I made looked like dog shit, but hopefully this tastes better than dog
so
shit.
Good,
Oh, that's good.
That's delicious.
What a surprise.
Delicious garnish. I know, right? Mm-hmm. Delicious garnish. But yeah. We all took bites of Reese's at the same time. That was terrible.
That was awful timing, but we also all ate some of the vodka Reese's that were soaking in there too.
That was intense. I was not expecting that to be so vodka. I'm like, oh, they can't really absorb it. I guess there's a lot of vodka just sitting on the top of it. As soon as it hit my tongue, I was just like, vodka.
Mm-hmm. I was lucky. I got the probably most modest bite because mine it was just a hint of the vodka.
So that's not only that is the first cocktail that we're drinking. The second one is the Snickertini. I'll get that whenever we finish this one, but that one is vodka, salted caramel Baileys, amaretto, and the creme de cacao, and then the almond milk. And I use a vanilla almond milk with a hint of honey, so it's naturally got a sweetness to it already.
I know, right?
So when you make drinks like these that use the chocolatey and the caramely and the those darker but sweeter flavors, it's just so good. It brings it out, yeah.
The first sip I did take, it did have a lot of the vodka taste, but that second one, not as much. I really like it. Oh. We got cookies. You said you home baked these cookies too?
Mm-hmm. Well, I baked them, yeah.
Well, you know what I mean.
They're caramel apple cookies.
I know, right?
And I suggest dipping it in the drink.
Ooh.
Like your little
That's what I was going to ask you.
Boozy
one or the other
boozy one. Anthony, go for it. You be the first one to experiment into this boozy little treat we got here.
Yeah, that way we're not all taking a bite of a
exactly,
cookie
yes, yeah.
The whole episode is you just hearing us chew.
Welcome to Halloween, everybody. We already did our candy trick-or-treater. Nom.
So the reason why I picked the Reese's cocktail for one is because if you look at that map and it shows you the most popular Halloween candy by state, Arizona's is Reese's.
I believe it. I love Reese's.
So I was like, okay, well, I'll do the Reese's cocktail, but I originally was going to do the Snickers cocktail. So I decided, I was like, well, I'll do both because it's Halloween.
It's Halloween.
You get a bunch of candy, so we'll drink a bunch of candy,
Yeah, that's really good.
I was going to say, dipping in the cookie, it feels like I have a feeling it's going to be real good. Just going to try to not make a mess, though. That is going to be the hard part.
Just use a bowl.
As they eat their cookies, I'll hold up the back of the bone of this podcast.
What?
They both decided to go in at the same time.
Well, I was
It's
taking
just
my
me
first
now.
bite. It's actually really good. I do enjoy
Hello,
it.
welcome to the Saturday Boys, hosted by Brandon.
And two mouths that are just constantly chewing.
And two chewing mouths.
You're welcome, everyone.
But yeah, we're talking about Halloween today. Super excited.
We're talking about the Halloween 1970s and the Rob Zombie remake.
78 and 07.
Yes.
Out of the 15 films in this franchise or something like that.
They're very different.
Every single one, they all added plot and then get retconned and then go to space or all that weirdness and then
So much nonsense.
get rebooted and then sequeled and then rebooted again, then retconned before James Cameron started doing it. That's what I thought. It was the same thing that they did with the Terminator franchise where they're like, yeah, we're just going to sequelize it with the original cast and forget about everything the last 20 years did. Which, well, I haven't seen either of those films. Have you seen the 2018? Well, the new one's coming out next week?
Yeah, the new Halloween.
That'll be out by the time this one comes out. So
I saw the 2018 one. I really liked it. It's a predecessor to the original Halloween movie. It takes place in 2018, when the original one took, it was like 35, 40 years later.
Oh,
And
okay.
you see Laurie Strode because Michael's coming back.
It's got Jamie Lee Curtis in it, so
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of like the not so great ones. Like, I've seen like the Halloween H2O. They get like had that like on VHS, but like so many of those I don't remember just because they're just not memorable at all.
I saw, most of my knowledge from the surrounding films, other than like the main ones that we watched, were a video that was like How to Kill Michael Myers, and it was like bringing up a bunch of crazy stuff he does throughout the whole franchise, like jumping off of buildings and all that. So what would it take to kill him? Yeah, this dude is freaking.
The man's a fucking tank.
We went from one slasher tank Leatherface to a freaking probably deadlier. He's got a bigger kill count than Leatherface, at least from the movies we watched. I know Texas Chainsaw Massacre goes all over the place in its sequels, but yeah,
He's also a little bit more put together than Leatherface.
a little bit more.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Red leather, yellow Leatherface. My cookie.
Are we going to do a little bit of the news?
Yeah, let's bring on to the news here.
So before we finish going into Halloween, we'll do a little bit of the news. I'm going to speed do mine real quick. 'cause I
You've
have
got a few.
People claim to hear the northern lights. So apparently, this is from BBC.
You
There's
smell that?
science claiming that you can. They're trying to find like that you can. If I could words, people are saying that you can hear the northern lights and that it's like this weird hum when you stand in the right like areas, and that it's caused from the magnetics of it and all that jazz. But in a Finnish study done in 2016, they claim to really have confirmed that they do make a sound audible to the human ear. It's at 70 meters above ground level, so like 230 feet.
Just a light hum.
Yeah. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting. Hundreds of three-eyed dinosaur shrimp emerge after Arizona monsoon.
I saw that. That looked terrifying.
Little Jurassic
The heck are
fossil
these?
fuckers.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? It looks like something out of like a spore or something.
Right.
They so they lay their eggs, and then whenever the heavy rain comes and it floods the area, then they can recreate.
It's pretty terrifying,
Yeah.
dude.
They're called triops.
Are they dangerous or anything, or what's
I
their deal? They're just a bunch of them and they're invasive.
Yeah, I think so. They're many horseshoe crabs with 3 eyes.
Crazy.
So, I mean, not too dangerous. It might get you a little bit. But yeah.
Well, I just didn't know if they're more like infest, like they eat stuff, like they get into things and they, I don't know, take your corn. I don't know what primordial little bugs do.
Woman finds hidden steps leading to a vast basement beneath her 1908 home. It's another one of those like TikTok things where like lady's out on her porch and finds that like there's like a underground passage and like there's a whole basement under there. It just looks kind of creepy. I thought it was like the scary spooky Halloween plot.
I say it sounds like a plot of The Conjuring is going on right there or something.
Yeah, basically that's kind of what I thought. I was like, damn, we already talked about The Conjuring that we did last week.
You're a week too late.
And then my last one is men lost for 29 days at sea say it was a nice break from reality.
Oh yeah, I did see something. Or
And I think we can all relate to that.
Wait,
Yeah.
so he was lost at sea for 29 days?
Was
Was he in a boat or?
It was 2 men.
2 men.
Yeah, and they were lost from the Solomon Islands. It was a nice break without everything. They were equipped with only a small 60 horsepower motorboat with sacks of oranges.
So they lived off of oranges for a month.
Yeah.
That's pretty. At least they didn't get scurvy. I mean, you hear about people in boats all the time getting scurvy.
Oh, and coconuts they scoop from the sea, and then they drink rainwater that they collected from the boat.
Wow. Okay, so when you said boat, I was thinking like a small ass boat.
Yeah.
It's pretty small.
Well, you
60
know,
horsepower. It's not very powerful for a boat.
I have no
It's a
frame of
two-man-
reference.
It's a 2-man boat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a little 2-man boat with a sack of oranges.
That's pretty bad. how do you get lost out there with sacks of oranges in the middle of the ocean? What were you doing out there? Were you fishing and you just got lost, couldn't find the way home?
Right.
I don't know.
They were going from one island to another, I think.
Oh, and they just went off course.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough.
So that's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy. Ooh, that's rough. Been there.
But yeah, Anthony, what do you have?
So a man died from rabies in Illinois. This is from
Haddonfield?
No. That'd be too perfect. Actually, I don't think it actually gives me a specific city now that you mention it. But yeah, so it's apparently it's the first case of rabies in the state since 1954.
Wow.
And he was refusing treatment, so that's why he ended up dying. Because he was a 80-year-old dude, so he probably would have been fine either way.
Anyway.
But he was just like, nah. He just refused.
Was it from a dog bite, or did it say what? A bat.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking bats, dude.
A bat bit him?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty messed up.
And then
I don't know how you bite a bat unless you're punching bats in caves or you're Batman.
so, because I guess apparently he
Spurlunky.
woke up and he found a bat on his neck. So it just kind of he woke up, saw the bat there, got bit. I guess.
Fucking
or scratched.
terrible. He was.
Right?
You got vampirism. That's not. That's Sanguis Vampinus.
Yeah, so
Vampinus.
he's actually not dead. He's just a vampire. He just lives in his basement now. But a
Hanging
month
out.
later, he started experiencing the symptoms. So he had like neck pain, headache, difficulty controlling his arms.
A strong thirst for blood.
Yep. It's right there.
Aversion to head. Aversion to light.
Yeah, it was.
Tendency to sleep upside down from the rafters.
It's so rare that in 2019 there was no reported cases, like of rabies. So
It's
You
not
said
one
it
you
was the
hear
first
about too
reported
much.
one since 1950s.
Death.
like in that
Oh,
state.
deaths.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that was just a first human case of rabies.
Oh
at
shit.
all
Okay.
In that state.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that seems like not a lot, actually. That's,
I mean,
expected
Old
more.
Yeller really let everybody know about the danger of rabies.
Yeah, 1 to 3
Old
cases are
Yeller didn't
reported
have
each year.
rabies, did he?
I thought that's why they shot him.
Is it?
I've
Actually,
never
no,
actually
didn't
seen
think
the
so.
Old Yeller. I just know it from the zeitgeist of like the media,
Right.
you know, because one of those royalty-free things that other movies always play. It's talk about how terrible the ending of Old Yeller is. I'm pretty sure he like gets rabies, and that's why he's got. No, Ma, I'll do it, and he always shoots it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess that is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's never never thought about it.
Yeah.
See, that movie it killed the rabies virus until recently, apparently.
Right.
But yeah.
R.I.P. Old Yeller.
I know, right? Dogs in horror months never,
No, not good.
especially in this
these
film.
movies.
Holy
Yeah. So
crap.
let's go back to the Halloween franchise.
Oh,
Not very many deaths in the first one. I mean, for the time, yeah, I guess it seemed like a lot, but compared to what they did for Rob Zombies, holy,
night
Shit.
and day.
Tripled it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and added a lot of extra nudity.
Just nudity?
No,
I know, right? We'll get to that when we get to that. I didn't even know that was a thing. But yeah, we'll start off with the original one, 1978, directed and composed by John Carpenter. It's got
did,
probably
like, everything
the
on
most iconic horror theme. Because when you think about like the 80s, especially slasher horror themes, you don't really think of the musical cues too much, except for frickin' the Halloween theme, that piano, that and that's just what the movie opens with. It opens with the piano over the titles, and it just sets the tone right off the bat. That's just like on the edge. It's kind of like,
Super dissonant, just really unnerving.
I know, right? And then it does the whole like the very end it goes up an octave as it fades away. It's just like super creepy. Does that usually before every major like stalking scene and everything.
and did you see who does the music for this movie?
John Carpenter?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Directed and composed
Yeah.
by John Carpenter.
and written
And
Did
written.
he produce it too?
and
Wouldn't surprise me.
directed.
He probably did.
He's the Tommy
And
Wiseau.
starred. Probably.
No.
No. John Carpenter's the one behind the mask.
Yeah, my note is the intro theme is iconic.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Anthony tried watching the beginning of this movie for like
Oh,
an
yeah.
hour.
You guys want to talk about how you guys had to watch the beginning of this movie in the first scene?
So we were trying to watch it online, and
It just wasn't loading.
It wasn't working.
No, it just had
How-
the most stupid like stutters. Like it'd do it in a way to where like it'd be like every 10 seconds it'd stop for 2 seconds. It would just do that over and over again. So like progress of the movie was just a slog.
So it starts off with a really cool shot where it's all just one unbroken shot, POV, like Doom 1963, like with the knife, like just going around. It's always horny teens, and it actually started with that film. That was kind of the trope to do, like, well, I guess Texas Chainsaw Massacre was a couple years before, but that was like, is that a slasher film? It kind of was more of a body horror. It didn't had less of this.
It's a little bit of both, and
Like,
I
when I was
wouldn't
looking-
call those horny teens.
No, those weren't.
That was a gang of kids. This
Well,
is horny teens.
Horny Teens is more in the remake. They had some of that going, but that was
but
influenced
you
by stuff like Halloween. You know, that started the horny teen trope.
Yeah, but you
So-
still don't even see anybody actually having sex in TCM. There is no nudity.
Yeah, there is no nudity. Now that I think about
This
it,
is
yeah.
completely, this is,
Yeah.
you actually see a bunch of couples fucking. Like,
It's funny about that. I watched the original one on YouTube TV, so I watched the TV cut of the 78 one. So I missed that scene. I was watching Cinema Sins doing research, and I'm like, oh, there's actually like a kind of sex scene in this. Okay, I didn't see that on TV, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. But so you guys had to watch that intro, which is a pretty cool scene.
but we
like,
watched it five,
six times, which it starts to lose its luster, probably.
Yeah.
I'd assume
Keep hearing
after
that
a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this. So when the lights go out, there's this sound, and it's like, ching.
That which happens a couple times because I actually wrote that ching sound down later in the
It
film in my
scared
notes.
the shit out of me every fucking time it would come on. I'd be like, oh god.
Then we finally got to actually watch the movie. He was finally desensitized to it. He's like, not this time.
Not this time.
After 7 times of watching this intro, I'm not scared anymore.
And an hour to get through 8 minutes of the movie. Jesus.
I also wrote POV shot as genius for the time.
I know, right? But yeah, it's so the whole intro where they like goes to that and then the reveal where it's first person view from him as he pulls off the clown mask and then it just kind of just zooms out on the parents just kind of standing there.
Yeah, like they're
Like-
about to ground him or something.
They're right. Like,
Hey, buddy,
we're
you
kind
need
of
to-
concerned,
You
not
need to put
you.
the knife down.
Right.
All right. But yeah, it was pretty funny.
Far cry
like-
from a broken home, though.
I know, very different than. Which so I haven't seen a lot of Halloween 2 and 3D and all the others. Do some of those touch on kind of the background more of like the family and get kind of more like the rednecky vibe to it? Is that just something Rob Zombie brought to the table?
That was definitely something more Rob Zombie
Yeah.
brought to the table.
Okay.
I want to say, yeah.
Because I know some of the plot devices in Rob Zombies were brought up in Halloween 2, like them being related and all that stuff. That was brought in the sequel from, I think it was like 1980 or something, or 79 when Halloween 2 came out, a couple years later. But
I always forgot that that was like the reason. Because I always was like think like, why is he going after her specifically? Like
well, in the original, it's just because she goes up to the damn house. Her dad's like, "Oh hey, I'm selling this old house. Go and put this thing in there."
right.
Like go.
Like in
and-
a Dropbox.
Yeah, or in the sequel, it's the Dropbox. I think in the original, they just put in like the mailbox, but they have to go up to the house
Yeah.
So
because she has the key.
there's a bunch. So you can either go Rob Zombie Halloween 1 to Rob Zombie Halloween 2. You could go original Halloween to new Halloween.
Oh yeah, because they
2018.
retconned all of the sequels,
Yes.
right?
Or you can go Halloween 1 to Halloween 2, and you can go one of 2 ways from there, which goes 4, 5, and The Curse of Michael Myers. Or instead of doing 4 or 5, you could go from 2 to Halloween H2O, or H20.
H20.
And then to Halloween Resurrection in 2002.
It's-
But
this is
Halloween
almost as
3 is its own thing.
It's almost as confusing as the Zelda timeline. It's like, all right, Link can either win at the end of Ocarina of Time or he can lose at the end of Ocarina of Time, and then you got
Yeah,
it's like,
it's basically
convoluted.
But yeah, so they kind of retcon a lot of that stuff. The original, I actually really kind of like the direction of the original and the tone. It's they do a lot of the stalker shot. A lot of the stuff
Yeah.
that I've known about Michael Myers was fully set up in this first film. The theme with him just kind of standing there, you never see his face at all. He doesn't
Yeah.
say a single word the whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah. You only get the
You only get like the grunts and stuff.
then and breathing, and like you do get the one shot of him like before he gets shot from the doctor.
Oh, don't you ASMR this?
It's probably really awkward for the audio. Like, what's happening?
It's Brandon's eating a Reese's into the mic, just taunting us. But yeah, the derail.
But yeah, that's I think that's what makes him like such a. I guess compared to like other killers, I feel like he's just that much more threatening because he's always at a distance from you, like he's always there, just kind of lurking. But he's
So
he's not
cool.
doing anything, but like it's so freaking creepy. And then the breathing, that I think that's the other thing that's iconic. Like you just hear him breathing through the mask. Nope,
Yeah.
not a fan.
In the original, after they pull off his mask and he revealed, it just jumps immediately straight ahead to 15 years later, and he's already busted out. It's like, oh crap! You just the Dr. Loomis, or as
Just pulls
Katie
up.
called him, Dr. Plot Device. That's because you basically in the 78 version, there's not as much like build up for everything. You don't get the whole. There's a lot more young Michael in the remake.
Oh yeah, there's like twice the movie's worth of
At least.
Right.
And so Dr. Loomis has to be the plot device. He's got to be the one who tells you all that stuff that kind of gets brought up a little bit more naturally in the sequel, but
Yeah, he's
the sequel remake's also like 45 minutes longer. So
It's
Dr.
all
Plot
those,
Device does his purpose.
I like the old Loomis better though.
So
I
old
prefer
Loomis
Loomis
is Donald Pleasance,
Yeah, I
who
love Donald
is
Pleasance.
frickin' Blofeld from You Only Live Twice. So frickin' Bond villain, very iconic. Bald doctor with a goatee and the lab coat and everything. But I've been working on this kid for years. He is the devil. All that, and you go into it
Look
more.
into his eyes.
Yeah.
Nothing, just black.
Michael McDonald in the sequel really takes Donald Pleasance's character and kind of I think it's a pretty good. Just talking about the remake a little
good,
bit, it's pretty good interpretation of it.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's more Michael McDowell, but yeah, I liked it.
So Lester the dog, when there's the best friend,
Lester the dog.
yeah. You know how there's the best friend, she's on the phone, and then the dog starts barking in the kitchen
Yeah.
while Michael's watching her.
Lindsay, because what's the girl's name? I wrote it down.
Is that Annie?
Annie, yeah, the other
And are
baby.
you okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Her dog Lester, that
Yeah.
bark sample that they used, trash.
It is. It's
Just
so bad.
trash. The dog bark doesn't even sound like a dog bark. It's so
Are you talking about the whimper when Michael gets it, or the bark?
No,
No,
the
like in
bark
the kitchen,
before.
yeah.
It doesn't it's just so shitty. It's so
Do
distorted.
you actually
and
ever see the
compressed.
dog? I don't.
Yeah, it's a
in the
German
kitchen.
Shepherd.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Because
And
she's
then-
on the phone, like, it's that first established scene, like, when she's on the phone, just kind of
It's
looking
after
out the
she
window.
spills water on herself and has to change her entire outfit.
Which I totally. We're jumping. You jumped way ahead
I
to
did.
the kids.
This is where
That-
my note was, though. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Lester's shitty dog barking and
Oh,
to say
that's too good.
R.I.P. Lester.
So I'm going to flip us back. So two things about, like, when the whole thing, like, when they're making the drive to the asylum, like, when Michael makes his escape. Two things. Why were they trying to transport him at night? And how can he drive?
I don't know.
Maybe
and
someone
I don't
around
know.
here was giving him lessons
Yeah, maybe someone around there was giving it. But he also crawled on the top like he was a goddamn spider monkey.
Right?
and punched out the glass with,
With
his
his
palm
palm.
of his hand.
Yeah.
He had like a weird
she
ass
rolled the
cut
window
on it
down,
or
though.
something.
She freaking rolled the window down. She's like, "What's that?"
Yeah, she did roll the window
It's
down.
like, but why? You know, like
But
you know,
why,
there's
though?
there's freaking patients walking around the grounds. Why
Which
do you
they
roll the
didn't
window
stop
down?
to try to help any of those patients or anything. It's
No.
like, oh, look at all these people.
Yeah,
No, we got
no.
someone. They had a mission. They were there to pick up Michael, and that was it. That's all I care about.
And then he drives off, and then me and Anthony were like, "Well,
How?
Yeah, why? How?
This is like
He's
essentially a
got the
6-year-old and
mentality
a
of a
21-year-old's
6-year-old.
body.
Yeah,
How does he drive?
You mean 23-year-old?
Stop.
21. If you do math, if you can math
I
at
was
all.
checking the credits.
I
though.
do math.
Yeah, but the people in the credits can't math. Okay, this was the 1970s. They couldn't math.
No, they really couldn't.
They did another TI-83 at the time.
No.
But see, they could math, but they couldn't. They selective because like when he did the whole explanation
Selective
of
mathing.
when how long he took care of like 8 years this, 7 years that. So
But
I'm like, well, you know the time.
could they
frame.
really math? So watching CinemaSins, he points out how messed up the timeline in this movie is of how much Michael did in like a very,
That's true.
very, very short amount of time.
They can't math.
Yeah, he just teleports all around. Makes a really cool movie. It flows very well, but he is a teleporting son of a bitch everywhere. He's just trying to get the last dregs of chocolate
I saw
out of your
that.
glass.
It was like
Brandon's over there just chugging away.
I'm ready for the next one.
God,
Hurry up.
I'm talking my ass off over here.
Okay.
My ass off over here.
Well, you can go get yours, and I'll keep on going.
That's fine. Yeah.
But so once
Catch
he
up
already
to
escaped,
Lester, and then I'll come back.
catch up to Lester. Lester's like way down on my notes.
No, Lester's like this, almost the next one actually.
Why do bullies always suck in movies and horror films? Like they're the most. I guess
Right.
because you don't have to put any effort into them because if they just have to define that they're a bully.
That's true.
But my note for it was just the worst bullies ever.
Right. Just saying anything like there's like you believe in the boogeyman, da, da, da. And then it's like the typical like, oh, let's haze him even more. Like he turns away, trip him, have him fall in the pumpkin. It's like, come on.
The falling on the pumpkin was so like that. There was a weird cut or something like that. And
they
I was
must
like,
have done that multiple times, and that wasn't the original pumpkin.
It was kind of weird though, but he was supposed to the dude in the onesie. Oh yeah, I was trying to count how many times he was doing the stare, like where he is just kind of off
Oh right.
in the background,
Ooh,
just
yeah, I
staring
didn't
at
think to
that.
count that.
And I got like 5 or 6 times that he was just kind of staring off in the
Which
distance.
is like classroom, the behind the hedge, in the backyard.
Well, there's the house was the first thing because
That's
like
true.
the Lori comes up to the house and then he's in there and just kind of staring at her. Which in the original film, that I think is the only reason why he targets her. Because if you think about it, he
Seemingly, 'cause you
goes
have no
immediately
basic-
to his house. He kills the dog and eats it, according to Loomis later.
Right.
I know, right?
But it's still warm. He did it early in the day though.
But then Lori just goes up to his house to drop off some real estate thing, and Michael's like, "Okay, I'm gonna
You're the
stalk
target
her
now."
now." Even though in the sequels, it's revealed that she's related, but that's retconning it in. That's the plot. Because in the first one,
Yeah.
there's no relation
Yeah,
to
there's
it at
no
all.
other sibling. Yeah.
No.
There's just the older sister.
There's no, yeah. So it's just kind of weird that he just targets her randomly, and then frickin' like. So does she see him in the school? Because that scene, I had to go back. I missed him.
Because that's why. Because she was like kind of half paying attention, but she was still able to answer the question for the teacher. But she was like kind of looking out, and then she could see him by the car.
Which that scene, I missed him the first time. Like
yeah.
I did not see. I saw the car there, and I'm like, oh, okay. So is he parked there? I didn't like look up and see like him standing there outside the car, just
Right.
staring at her.
Like the one that I missed him a couple times actually was in the backyard, because I think every time that scene came up, I tend to look away, and it's like a flash. Ooh, thank you. It just happens so fast that like if you literally look away to like for any reason, or you can even blink at the wrong time and freaking miss it, because it's just like a quick scene of him, her looking out, and then it's like it looks. The camera goes away, so it's like it implies she's still looking, but we can't see him anymore. Then he's gone, so it's like, did he vanish in front of like her eyes? But then she didn't react properly, because you think if he just vanished, then she would react differently. So like, but was us looking away? Was her? It was a confusing scene the way that.
Yeah, that sounds confusing as fuck. That looks delicious.
This
as
one's
fuck,
way better.
though. Oh, really?
I really like the other one.
Okay.
This one's way better.
Way better. All right. So can you go back into what this was? This is the Snickertini that you got, which you're
I
gonna
just
dunk
got
a
I got a whiff
Snickers
of like
into
this
it.
and this.
I know. So the sour apple cookies were actually more soury and appley than I thought. You know, they're pretty good, but I wasn't expecting that tartness to them. But they paired really well with the Reese's beverage.
So this is vodka, caramel apple Baileys, amaretto, and
The almond milk.
almond milk, and the creme de cacao.
Ah, there it is. I was like, I think you're missing something, but because you poured like 6 shots
Super
into that
good.
thing. It looks delicious. Well, just like this does, but oh my gosh.
Wow.
Okay, I'll have to chug this down. I'm excited to get onto that one. But
Where we at?
we were just talking about him stalking her outside the school where she's in the classroom, and he looks out and just sees him. I missed it the first time. It was like the second or third cut, and I was like, holy shit, Michael's right there. I didn't see that, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good establishing shot.
And then like he does kind of jump around between like Tommy and Lori, because he goes to the elementary school. I like that scene, even though like they ragged on it, where it's just like following him, and you see him get into the car, and like because it's like he's actually turning on the car and following him slowly away, just like keeping an eye on it. It's similar as the POV style intro, just like
Just that stalking thing is just like it's just next level. Just like it's like a very real thing, and it's just like it's just the most creepy thing I think you can do but before you're actually doing something to the victim. Just like
planning,
establishing that like you're going to do something, but just like not yet. It's like fuck,
not yet.
Soon.
Kids smoking, so unhealthy.
Right.
But
they make it like so prominent.
I know, right? Oh, I put TV censorship because I said something and it bleeped it out, and I was like, "Oh no, what did they say?" Because those girls were freaking. Oh, look at that guy, that little creep over there. What's that always doing? I'm like, would you, like, if you saw a guy in a freaking onesie just staring at you, and Lori had seen him before, would you let your friend just go to town, or you just go,
right? Like, how about you don't do this? Or like when she's like starts like beelining towards him because saying he's behind the hedge. Like, no. Like, do not do that.
I didn't find the hedge one that creepy because he was kind of standing like a bit too far out.
Yeah,
and like they was kind of cut
That's
weird.
True.
That was when I felt.
Yeah, I guess if he was
been
more behind the hedge, it would have been a little creepy.
Well, and they'll do the whole like the turn, like is he there? Oh, he's not there. Mm-hmm. Whoop. But yeah, that was kind of weird. Still a good jump scare.
I did like the car one though. There's like speed kills,
speed, and then
just
then
immediately.
He stops. But how?
Yeah, impossible. Well, between that and that's why like because you made the joke like supersonic hearing. This is really freaking good though. Between the dad talking to Lori, because like he's talking like in a regular voice. They're both outside. She's getting further away, but she's yelling to talk back to him. So it's like clear there's distance between them. But then he's talking like a regular voice. So it's like okay, so he has supersonic hearing, or better yet, she does, I guess. And then with that whole car scene, it's like driving that fast, that far away, wouldn't have hurt him.
Also, the friend's dialogue is so cringy.
Really
or
is.
it's either dubbed or acted so poorly, and I couldn't tell which. Because like I couldn't see the lips moving, and I'm like, is this dubbed over it? It's the 70s, so I can totally see them doing it. But
I guess I didn't think about that, but
yeah, it could have used another work.
Yeah,
like Jamie Lee Curtis is like the only one of the kids that can actually like act well.
Yeah. Like
I mean, Annie probably second best, but just because she has a lot more screen time. But oh, well, that's so sad.
Did I balance it?
You can almost get your cookie in the glass. Almost.
Wait.
Yep.
Oh. And the,
you
It's
can
not-
you can top it so you can make sure Nick
Hey.
won't drug you.
excuse me?
Use the cookie as a topper so Nick can't slip a pill in your drink.
That would have been smarter.
I would have slipped some Reese's Pieces in there.
Dude, that would have worked perfectly.
Your cookie falls into the cup right then.
Right.
Well,
it's
then
like,
you'd.
but since I broke it, now I just know I'm going to get drugged.
This is true.
Welcome to Reese's Pieces.
But it's Snickers, though.
And also, is Lori that desperate? Because like they were talking about Ben Tramer. What were their names? Hold on, I put is Ben Tramer and Dick Baxter and Ben Tramer are the name of the guys that they're talking about.
Slim Pickens.
Ugh, I mean,
Hey, it's Haddonfield,
It's
Illinois.
Haddonfield, Illinois. They
Like,
do what
she-
they do.
What
she's
can you
the-
expect?
The excuse,
Yeah.
like, oh, like the guys think I'm too smart. No, I just think there's not really any dudes for you to choose from.
This is true.
Was it this one or the sequel that talked about Ben Tramer? It was the sequel, right? That talked about Short Bus.
That was
Yeah,
well,
that's
short
the
bus thing was
sequel.
Yeah.
That's the
No,
sequel.
Because they use the
remake.
The remake uses all the same character names, which is pretty cool. Now, not all remakes like to do that. Usually like to, especially.
Well, I appreciate that because Texas
Texas
Chainsaw
Chainsaw,
Massacre, they're
yeah.
like, oh, it's all different people.
But this
Up
one, like
window.
they tried to keep it same people, same stuff, and you do get some parallels like about that with Ben Tramer. Oh god, that was a funny
Sneaking
line.
out to go see Ben.
But God, creepy ass. Oh yeah, I felt the police officer. The first scene where she bumps into him, that was fucking creepy as hell, dude.
I didn't like the
It's
way
a little
he
weird.
talked.
And also, I put it. I knew it. Third laundry scene. There's 3 movies in a row now that we've done that had a laundry scene. Every horror has
Yep.
someone in the laundry. We
Yeah,
had the
man.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Both versions had that. Conjuring had the whole laundry scene. And the original one has Michael Myers just standing in the laundry in the wind, which at that point she had seen him at school, on her way home, and at home. Wouldn't you be fucking creeped out at that point in time?
Well, the
Maybe-
backyard one, I would be like, fuck it. Like, she just reacted like, oh, it's weird. It's like, he's at your house.
He's here.
He's there. It's like, what do you do with that?
Like, everything else is creepy enough, but like you didn't draw the line until he was literally about to stab you. That's when you're like, now I'm creeped out. It's like, okay.
Oh, and then I put, there's the iconic 70s outfit. because she's in that like school outfit in the beginning, and then she switches into the 70s blouse, the hair, and then the freaking bell bottom pants that she is in freaking Dead by Daylight.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, hey, there's the iconic outfit of the first film. 70s is all get out. But
Dude, but Dead by Daylight nailed the character.
I know, right? Especially with the stock mechanic.
Yeah, it's so good. You get tier 3, and it's like full on music. You move faster. You got the knife out. You got the din 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 din, and then if you insta down the survivor, it's like it's fucking gold.
Something I want to talk about since we're talking about music, that piano score when he's like stalking the dun 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 dun, just like he's just hitting the piano
simple,
just randomly,
so perfect.
just like the stings, just to add a little bit of tension. I do really like the score of this one, probably more than any of the other horror films that we've watched so far.
Over encompassed, like it wasn't trying to do too much, and it like reused it like stuff a lot, but all of it fit. Like it didn't seem out of place. It didn't seem weird. Like it just worked.
It's the most iconic for sure as well.
Yeah.
I think it's really kind of interesting though, that the reasons, like the movie change between the two, like between the remake and this. Like in this one, he's chasing Lori because it's like a sadistic, like Valentine almost, because she's the first girl that he sees.
Right.
But then in the remake, he's chasing her because they're blood related, which is kind of different.
Well, they added that in Halloween too.
Yeah.
I read the direct sequel to it. So
Yeah, because I guess that was like probably brought up a lot where people wanted to know why it was her.
he's just creepy.
Yeah, so we touched on like there not being many kills in this one. I just want to point out like the actual figures.
Yeah.
There's only 6 total kills.
Okay.
And
Counting
one of
the
which
dog.
being a dog.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
5 humans.
So there's only 5 people.
Meanwhile, the remake, as we found out, has, depending on which version you're watching, either
22
22 or
ridiculous.
20. So it's over 3 times, no matter what.
Was it 20 including the cat? Because I only got 19 not counting animals.
Oh, well, that was from the online that I read. So maybe they counted the cat thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or
Did
maybe you just missed one of the off-screen kills or something.
Well, did you count the guy in the very beginning he hits with the branch?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you
Kids.
did? Okay. Spy
Pretty much
Kids.
anyone. The only ones I didn't count were obviously Loomis and because I think Annie survives this one. Was it Annie?
Yeah, Annie and Loomis actually both survived.
Yeah, those are the only 2 I didn't
so-
count that had encounters with them. Besides
Which I think is
Lori.
bullshit. Well, Annie could have survived. I think Loomis died in the sequel. That was...
Annie, are you okay?
Yeah, she was until the sequel. Spoilers. But yeah. The... So close to each other. Oh, yeah. So these girls must be like houses really, really close to each other. Because they're all just walking like really, really... I mean, you do see one of the girls go off and they just continue on, and the other girl goes off in like the same shot.
like,
So they do
splits,
live
like, little by
like
little.
on the same street.
Right. Well, and even with Tommy too, like the idea that like their like little town, like their neighborhood is like they're all like right next to each other.
Good old
Yeah.
Tommy Mitchell.
Was Tommy Mitchell?
I don't know.
Lindsay, do you want to go over to Tommy's house?
No.
Well, no, Lindsay's a space cadet. She doesn't say a damn
That's true.
thing.
Oh,
Just
that's right.
Staring off at TV.
The remake was when she got a little bit more
Yeah,
personality.
there was a little bit of character there in the remake.
But they did in the beginning of it when they established the character. It was exactly the same spot on the couch. They kind of like just zombie look, like just watching the TV, and like the rest of the world zoned out. I appreciated that.
Oh, God, everyone's acting is so terrible. I'm assuming that was Annie I was talking about, because the note before that was Tide Pantsu. Because she spills fucking butter on herself.
Right.
Butter on herself, which I didn't. I
so
totally,
much that she needed to wash
I
all
like
her clothes.
blinked or something. I was like, why is she taking off her clothes? What the hell?
Right. First, I'm like, why? I mean, I'm fine with it, but why?
Michael's right there out the window. What's going on? I'm just like, I
She's
don't.
put on a show for him. She's just like, well, you're gonna kill me anyway, so might as well.
And then it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go do laundry while I'm babysitting.
I love though that like how
Trapped
with
in
the little
laundry
girl.
house.
I was just like, what a little shit. How she was like, don't say anything. Like when Paul, like, she answers the phone, like, oh yeah, she was stuck in a window. Here she is. And then she just like immediately like,
Don't say anything.
Right.
Oh yeah, she was here in a window. It's like,
right. So I just put like little girl tattles immediately.
Luke Skywalker, but he can't be. I put the kid's like Halloween outfit look
Dude,
like.
that's literally what I put.
Well,
too.
I wrote, but he can't because Luke Skywalker didn't appear in that outfit
Yeah.
until
And I think we confirmed
the
it says
holiday
astronaut
special.
It's
on
an
the-
astronaut.
Yeah, it looks like Luke's Bespin outfit though, which he
Right.
doesn't appear in until later. So I'm like, but Halloween came out before that outfit was a thing.
Yeah, because you pointed out the flag patch, and I was like, okay, so yeah, it has to be an astronaut. And then there's a patch on his right that like it's hard to see because the time the movie was made, so it's not super clear, but it says astronaut.
Yeah, it says ass eater.
No.
But yeah, I actually wrote a police officer that actually does his job, because once, Dr. Loomis is like, yo, he's out, we need to find him. He's like, all right, I'll follow you. I'll do it.
Right.
And it's like, oh.
He gives them the benefit of the doubt. Like, I'll try this.
Most of the time in horror film, you get like the terrible police officer who's corrupt or something. But this is Andy's dad. He's just kind of a goofball.
Yeah.
He's just there. But earlier with the scene with him is they pull up to the
Hardware store, I
the
think?
hardware store, which they got a Halloween mask at. Nothing, just like a Halloween mask, a couple
Rope.
knives,
Yeah,
some
some
rope. Nothing too crazy. It's like,
Exactly what Mikey needs.
It's like, oh yeah, this broke in. He stole like, it's like a pharmacist going like, oh yeah, they stole like NyQuil and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, wonder what they're doing.
And they have alprazolam, they have Soma, they have Perks. I'm like, they just want the cocktail.
Well, that's basically it's like the joke of what are the 3 things you can bring to Walmart to make the cashier freak out on you,
Right.
and then he just listed off like the number 1 top answer. But yeah,
Oh my god.
it's pretty messed up. But that scene also, I had to play that scene back because I didn't catch it at first, because Dr. Loomis is there talking to the police officer dad, and you see Michael Myers
Yeah,
in the
his
background.
car.
I totally missed that the first time. I saw him like drive by, and I'm like, wait, excuse me, was that him? So I like rewound it, and I just saw him sitting there. I'm like, that's so creepy.
Yeah, the whole scene just near misses. It's the 2 girls that he'll eventually interact with. Lori like just misses them as they leave. He gets out of his car, talks to the dad, then Mikey goes by chasing them, and it's like all of it. They're all within a small range of each other, and they
And they
none
don't
of them
even know
that
it.
each other exists.
Oh gosh.
It's crazy.
Did you guys notice the gravestone when he pulled it? I thought at first I thought that he like dug up the grave and desecrated
That's
it.
what
But
I
I'm like,
first-
that's a very small hole.
When I watched it like
Took the
way
gravestone.
long ago, but then
Yeah.
after I think the second or third watch, that's when I was like, it made sense to me, because like even seeing the tombstone, I didn't connect it the first time I watched it, but then watching it the second time, I'm pretty sure I was like, that's why it was such a small hole, because it's just a headstone.
Yeah, my original note was like, why the hell is this such a small hole? And then I got it later. It's like, okay, it was the gravestone. God. Oh, the party of freaking that the line that what are the couple that have sex? What are their name? It's
Oh, was that Linda
Bob and
Bob?
Linda and Bob.
Linda.
Linda and Bob, yeah, because there's a whole like side spot where we go to a new couple that we've barely seen in the film. They get it on, and then they get immediately killed by Michael Myers, and freaking
Linda Carmichael and Bob Hope.
Yeah.
you already have got their full names, got their address.
I'm just making up last names for everybody now.
It works, but you got the iconic stabbing scene where he kills him after they have sex.
Yeah, after he
And-
pops out of the closet just against like, almost seems like, I guess like a pantry is what it's
Yeah, pantry door or
He
something
sticks
like
into
that.
the fucking wall.
And he stays there against the wall.
Yep, he gets
Yeah,
held up by
That knife is
the
definitely-
sword,
Yeah, the
not a
sword.
knife.
Yeah.
And then his infamous whole like, and audio listeners, this won't mean anything. I'm bobbing my head side to side, just admiring or just like interested, like how this is happening right now. Like just
It's just the way it's like he almost doesn't know what he's doing, or just like admiring
Right.
his work.
He's
or
astounded that the
something.
knife gained 4 inches as he stabbed into the
Right.
guy. It's like, how
And
is this
that
working?
it held up the entire weight of it, dude,
perfectly
without
fine.
like
Yeah,
going
no-
and
well, that was the thing I noticed in the remake, that the knife,
grab my beverage.
the knife was like at an angle to where like if you held someone there, the sharp end was towards his head, so then it would be easier for him to kind of slide
To
with
slice,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, the way I
Versus
would
the
do it
original
is
knife thrust in the original was
stick it flat top on top,
right.
so that way it wouldn't slide down like
Yeah,
that.
because then this way, because I guess either whether it's sharp or not, because there's very little surface area, so it could shift. But I mean, between the two, obviously the sharp end you want down.
Still, the physics of that aren't feasible.
Right. Like you'd have to have like a stupidly wide blade. Otherwise, I think because even if you put it sideways, it'd bend. Like it's not like it's that thin of or that thick of like metal.
No, it's a regular, like, it almost looks like a kitchen knife.
Yeah, just like a little oversized just for the dramatic effect.
The dramatics of it.
I missed that scene.
The evils.
I actually didn't
That
see
evils?
that whole sex scene leading up to that because I was watching the TV version.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was like aiming for the belly button or the thigh. It was unclear.
On Cinema Sins, I was seeing that and I was like, oh, wait a minute. What scene is that? I missed that. I was like, oh, I was watching the TV version. Oh.
Yeah, that's like actually what I have in my notes though about Bob. That Bob gets stabbed with a sword, and then Mike does his head bob. His little
Mike does his head bob after standing Bob.
Head bob bob.
head bob.
Head bob.
Head
All
bob.
I'm excited to try this because you guys hyped it up so much for me. I got to see how good the Snickertini is.
I personally prefer it. Anthony, do you prefer it or do you prefer the Reese's?
I think I prefer this one.
I do too.
They're very different, so I think maybe like on certain days I would like the other one more, but I think overall,
I wonder if I can make this with the peanut butter vodka that I made and make it a little bit better.
Well,
Maybe.
we need to probably take a shot at the peanut butter vodka and see how much peanut butter it actually tastes like.
Yeah.
Because it didn't look visually appealing. Let's put it that way.
No,
Right.
it looked like Dookie.
Dookie water.
But we know it was peanut butter, not Dookie.
Thank
What
God.
was what
Hot
movie?
dog
It's got the
flavored
Baby
water.
Ruth in the pool.
Baby Ruth?
I don't remember, but I know what you're
I'll
talking
Google
about.
search it here in a minute.
What was the question?
There's some iconic '80s film where he's got a Baby Ruth in the pool, and they're like Dookie. Probably like Goonies or something. Because
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack,
Okay.
That's what it is.
Because like when I think Baby Ruth, I only think of Goonies.
Which is why I went there. I was like, oh, maybe Goonies, Baby Ruth. I don't know. All right, let's get it. It was really delicious with the Snickers. We'll see what it is just straight on.
We'll see what it is, dogs. He's
What
gonna,
it is.
He's gonna tell us what it is.
It is way more caramely.
That's the Bailey's.
Yeah, that Bailey's really comes through. Wow. I like it, though. It's more palatable than the Reese's one. It's a little less harsh.
Yeah, but it has more alcohol in it.
Yeah,
That's true.
I can tell just by sipping on that.
But funny enough, I feel like this one I taste less alcohol
I
with
taste
somehow.
less alcohol, but it's way more palatable to me.
I guess too. There's a lot. I guess technically there's more flavors going on. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot more flavors going on. The other one was just
But it's not
peanut butter and
overwhelming,
chocolate.
which is nice. Because you would think like when you were making it, I'm like, there's a lot going on there. But
Once he stabs Bob, we get the iconic Casper scene, as I put it. He's got to have a sense of humor. You guys have to
Yeah,
admit that.
right.
Yeah.
After he does that, he freaking puts
it
on.
and with the glasses even.
Ooh.
I'm Bob.
She's like, where's my beer?
It's too
Here's your
fucking
beer.
good.
Right.
The moaning death
Actually,
gurgles.
yeah,
It's because
on
even
the
the
phone.
subtitles said moaning.
Did it really?
And I was just like,
See, this is another reason why I wish we had subtitles. It made it funnier. Damn it, Plex.
yeah, it was definitely moaning enough to where Lori thought it was sex over the
Right.
phone.
She's
so,
like, oh, is this why you call me? I was like, your friend's actively dying on the phone.
I put soundtrack right back at it. It must have been a
Right.
really good, iconic scene of him walking.
hitting it again.
It's just one of those themes that it never really changes. It's just the same piano beat. Just does it at the perfect times. Whenever he's stalking, it just comes back. It's a recurrence, you know.
Where are we at?
So that was the iconic stuff. So you got the fucking creepy gravestone.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah, in the bed.
In the bedroom with the fucking dead Annie or
Room of
whatever.
dead friends. Like, what a weird
Yeah,
freaking
what
like
the hell?
shrine that he made, and then like you finally find out why he had the rope, because I'm assuming that's what he used for Bob when he's hanging
Was
in the
that
closet.
the okay?
That's the only thing I can think of is like he didn't use a rope at any other point, at least that I can recall.
Even she opens the door and it's just dead.
he just
Bob
swings, yeah.
swinging.
Because you have what Annie kind of sprawled out on the bed in front of the tombstone. Bob is swinging from the closet.
Who is in the closet?
Wait, the girl, or the guy.
The girl in the
The
closet.
girl that I'm pretty sure that was Linda, because I think that was the girl that was just killed in But it's just weird because like I can't remember for the closet with Bob swinging through, because I think she opened the closet and then that's how he swung in.
I thought so.
Because I think that one makes sense at least, and then she backs up and then that's where Linda gets exposed.
The door just opens
But
up.
it's like, why did the door open? Like
She
didn't
bumped
interact
against the wall, and maybe he never didn't close it all the way. It's an old house. It's got its creaks.
There was a draft.
Oh, okay, you nailed it.
On the head.
Sold.
But yeah, so Lori gets into the house of horrors. All of her
yeah,
friends
for
just brutally murdered in front of her.
Half the kills in the movie like are right there, are just her friends.
Yep.
I guess
he
2 friends and a
fucking
boyfriend.
misses Lori. She has the
Right.
biggest plot armor.
That's what I
Everybody
said.
else
Miss
gets
Lori
killed
on purpose.
So she's,
Right.
And maybe a little lag because she kind of limps and falls a little bit.
That's
But
what
you know,
made me
she
think.
fucking tumbles down the stairs. Then she should be in way more pain.
Right. It just kind of reminded me because I Texas Chainsaw how they did that. How she went through the second story. And it's like just the adrenaline of just like survival. Like they go through these brutal things that they should not be able to easily move away. They do it just. I guess not just fine, but like noticeably in pain. But like, I guess it's kind of believable. But so that's why what made me think because he missed her.
Because single drop of makeup
Oh right.
down her arm.
But I kind of felt like I almost part of me wants to think like the reason why he missed is like he wasn't done with her. Like he was still trying. He still wanted like the thrill of the chase. That's why that's.
Giving him too much credit.
I know.
Yeah, I think he just missed because he missed.
No.
He swung and missed.
and then he
Plot
missed.
armor.
That's true.
Plot
Well,
armor.
that and the movie wasn't over
missed.
yet, so he had to miss, right?
The neighbors fucking closed the door on Lori. That's
I
so
know, right?
fucked
They
up,
peek
dude.
out, see it's a little girl, like it's a neighborhood girl that they probably know screaming, and they just like nope, and they just close the doors or they close.
Turn off the
lights off.
fucking light. It's like, dude, that's so evil.
Even if it's like a prank, which I feel like that's the why you reacted that way because it's a prank. Why would you not just open it, realize it's a prank, and then just do the same thing you just did? At least you have peace of mind that it's not someone actually in trouble. I don't know.
I don't know.
That
People
just
are weird.
Irresponsible adults.
But
And also, the movie had to happen.
the movie had this theme of Tommy talking about the boogeyman all the time.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
freaking she gets there being chased by the literal boogeyman. And it's like, Tommy, go!
Right. Do as I
freaking-
say. That's the magic phrase.
I know. And then freaking he chases her into the house and she's all hiding and freaking does a critical strike needle hit to the neck. It's just like, oh.
Which was, in the first shot, I'm pretty sure it was here. And then when it flashed to him actually being stabbed, it
It
was,
was
here.
in his neck.
So I was like, nah.
Yeah, it's editing. They can kind of
Right.
do what they want with it. But yeah, they freaking hit him. I put Dr. Plot Device shows up way too late. Freaking Loomis. Because he was freaking spending his time creeping out little kids like, hey, kid, you better not go to that house.
And
It's like, the hell type of scene is
But his
that?
smile, though, he was like, I did good. Like, he was like,
I saved him.
he wasn't there, though, Loomis.
He was like yelling it from behind
Daddy
the bush, too.
wasn't there.
Jesus Christ, Michael. I just see that in your notes.
Oh, no.
And then he's a runner. He's a track star.
You made me freaking laugh up a loogie.
Oh, no.
All the sugar we're having.
Hey, we're not having any sugars. What are you talking
Sugar.
about? There's no sugar in this.
Yeah, no sugar in the vanilla almond milk, the
This is
cookies, the
sugar-free.
Reese's.
This is
I mean,
sugar-free.
hyped up on sugar like I'm a kid on Halloween night.
That's what we're going for.
That's the point.
Mission success.
Okay, well, there- you made it work. I have now sinus issues. Thank you.
Right. So speaking of the boogeyman thing, you
Yeah.
know how he kept bringing it up, and she was like, "Oh, it's not real." She saw him multiple times and then just
Dude,
vanished.
right?
And then she's like, "I don't believe in the boogeyman." Like, there's literally something you can't explain that you keep seeing, and it's just vanishing. Yes.
Put the pumpkin down. Put the cookie down.
Can we talk about the voice you just did?
It was trying to
Put
do
the
Arnold.
pumpkin down.
Put the cookie down from Jingle All the Way. I
Yeah.
want to say because he's yelling at his neighbor. Put the cookie down.
It's been so long. I
Jingle
actually
All the
have
Way
seen
is such
that.
a terrible film. I love it.
I mean, Arnie's in it. Like, you watch it because you just want to have a good time with Arnie.
That'll be during our holiday season. I vote for Jingle All the Way episode.
I'm cool with that.
And I put Lori's perception must be out of 10 because you fucking hits him in the eye with a coat hanger, in the neck with a freaking
Right.
Her
I mean, she never
skill-
misses. She's like on point every time.
Her perception's a 10, but her intelligence is.
Idiot
she
savant
notices
all
Michael
the
everywhere,
way.
but she doesn't do anything about it.
Yep.
Right.
Just waits for Michael to strike next.
So what I did like is during the chase how she tried to do the misdirect of opening up the doors to the balcony and then
That
hiding
was
in the
kinda
closet.
cool.
That was like the smartest like when you have the hair like the person like the main like your protagonist being chased. That's
heroine?
Heroine, thank you. That was the smartest freaking I couldn't the word was there.
you were
It was-
halfway there. You said hero, and then you stopped, and then you
'Cause I
said
thought it was
three
wrong.
other. Then you said three other.
He was
adjectives.
thinking of My Heroine, the album.
I was. System of a Down. Forever.
It's not System of a Down.
No, he's singing the song "She's
yeah.
My Heroine."
My
That's
brain
a
is
song.
no-
I was thinking of the
brain's
It got
just
so
exploding.
it got so derailed.
Used? Fuck, who does? Oh no,
So,
no, I'm
Silverstein?
Silverstein.
Yeah, that's Silverstein.
God damn, I don't know. All the 2000s metal
all the
emo
same.
shit all blends together. It's like we did an episode on it or something, and I listened to it for like 3 weeks straight, and my brain fried. But I did put that Lori is like the best babysitter ever.
She
Because she's
is.
like, kids, get the there, do this
Right.
stuff. I'm
Do as I
protecting
say,
you guys.
and then just everything happens.
Get out of here, go.
Like Tommy, open the door, and then just like everything, like, yeah. She's willing to carve a pumpkin with him. I mean, like that was cool.
Yeah. Well, the pumpkin was after the movie,
Yes.
which was after. No, the comics was after the pumpkin, which is after the movie. They have a long night planned ahead of them,
Right.
but Michael goes
And
and,
then Tommy
just
even
changes
points it
all
out.
that. But yeah, so they get being chased. She pushes him out the freaking window. Dr.
Right.
Loomis shoot. How many times he gets shot in
I think
this
it's
one? Like 3 or 4 times.
4 times. I thought it was 5, but then
He gets shot 4 times in both movies too. Think about it. Because he gets shot 4 times in the other one
sounds
too.
right. Wait, can we confirm?
3 times consecutively.
It was actually 5 shots.
One time before.
In the second one.
this.
Yeah, yeah.
Or remake.
Ah.
Damn.
But
close,
yeah,
though.
they get the freaking the line that they parody in both films. It was the boogeyman. Oh, was that the boogeyman? As a matter of fact, I think it was.
Right.
Do 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 do. But then just that whole ending of him like breathing over the credits, like Michael's not dead. You know, Michael will return.
So the couple encounters that she had with him, why did she ever get rid of the knife?
Wait, she gets rid of the knife?
Yeah, at both instances. So she stabs him right with like the sewing, like because that's
The sewing needle. Yeah.
She does that. The knife's right there because it's like it's shown a later shot. The knife is right there in front of the couch. That one maybe okay. In the heat of the moment, she's scared. She's running away. You can miss that one because then she didn't actually have the knife at any point, so she could have missed it. But the second time, she's exactly she's holding the knife. She stabs him and it's like she throws it down, and then she's like, "Oh, everything's all good." I mean, he already came back once, so don't you think it's possible he's gonna come back again? But we want to get that awesome shot of her at the doorway, and then you just see him just like in the like on the ground still, and he just sits up, and then the music kicks back up. That shot is probably my favorite of all his like anything involving Mikey in the whole entire first like movie. That shot of him just like because you can just tell like something's gonna happen, and then when he sits up, and then the music, it's like everything about that scene's perfect.
Yeah, that's a good scene.
He ain't dead. Michael's never dead.
Oh. And that's when you truly like between that and then the next after getting shot, like that's when you truly like realize like as more movies come out, it's like he's just never gonna die. He's immortal.
Do 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 do. All right, move on to Rob Zombie Halloween from 2007. So this was my first one I watched. I actually saw this
Me
one
too.
back 2007-ish, give or take, when it was released. Probably I didn't see the unrated version. Funny enough, I have only ever seen the theatrical cut, and you have only ever seen the unrated version.
Yes.
I think I've seen
As we
both.
talked about this,
Yeah.
we were very confused today when we were talking about different scenes. And
I said,
we
how
had
about
to
that
do research.
really aggressive rape scene? He goes, what?
Excuse me, what?
And I was like, yeah, that really
Oh, yeah.
aggressive rape scene. He was like, excuse me. And I said, here,
Yeah,
let me
no,
show
it's
you.
real.
Then you go, no, it's how Michael escapes out of
Oh,
prison.
yeah.
And I'm like,
No.
no, it's not how Michael escapes out of prison.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, he beats up guards and he's all chained up and he uses the chains as a weapon. And you're like,
No.
it's because of redneck rapey people. I'm like, we were just so confused. I'm like,
Right.
are we talking about the same film here?
Did I watch the wrong one? Fuck.
So as
fact,
it
no.
turns out, the whole a gratuitous rape scene that was added in the frickin' unrated version, I didn't even know it was a thing. I could have went without that in my life,
Yeah,
but
that's
you
pretty
had to
gnarly.
show it to me just because I'd never seen it.
But at least
But-
they get punished after doing it.
True.
So there's
That's
that.
true. That is
Well,
true.
Michael's a vigilante in this one.
Until
yes.
until the 5th kill. Then he's like, okay.
Until he
now
kills Danny Trejo, then I got beef.
Dude, all right. So let's back up a little bit because we'll go
We're
back to the
skipping a little
beginning. We're
ahead,
skipping
yeah.
a little ahead. That was the biggest difference.
get excited
noticed.
here.
So this one, instead of the theme, it starts with a quote, and it's immediately a different vibe.
Yeah, it has a different song right off the bat. I have a different soundtrack for sure. Different year, different everything is my first 3 notes.
They kept the same character names and the same kind of plot beats.
Yeah.
But the tone completely shifted.
Tone and the whole story for how he's created.
Story.
Yeah.
So, something that I constantly wrote, I was doing voice to text for this, so some of my sentences kind of go in circles. They're like, immediately goes into the redneck 2000s obsession that horror films had, especially the Rob Zombie era.
Yeah, Rob
where
Zombie,
it was
Hills
just
Have Eyes.
Hills Have Eyes. Freaking Hills Have Eyes.
TCM,
Oh, God.
all of those weird, like, kind of backwoodsy horror.
It was a very trend there from the 2000s when they were remaking the classics. So let's just make it redneck. That's just makes it everything a little bit creepy. It lets us kind of
explain why he's the way he is.
Gore-ploitation and all that. But man, does that... I first started the 2007 version on YouTube TV, and I swear that first sentence, I wasn't hearing half of the words because half of the sentences were just swear words. So I was like, I'm going to pause this. I actually ended up buying it on Amazon because I was like, I want to watch. I remember there's a lot of nudity in this film. They cut out all those scenes. I'm going to be missing a lot. Like, I just only missed one scene from the original because it's from 78, but I'm like, I'm going to probably end up missing a lot if I don't watch the regular version. Well, I thought the unrated version, but I guess it's the regular theatrical version. But woof. Yeah, definitely different vibe. You get the whole background from frickin'
broken home background.
Yeah.
Really messed up broken home.
Yeah. The dad is
Wait,
calling him Michelle.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, just like
Go get Michelle.
like just saying like he's just every like anti-gay like in every possible way, and just and then just like checking out the daughter because like
was it saying that he was the stepfather? I'm assuming because even
just
the
kind of
sister's like, he's not my dad.
Yeah, he's hitting on Michael's sister, so it's not the direct father.
Well, I didn't know if they were going to go that way and be that
incestual.
trashy. So
I'm pretty positive it's a
stepfather.
Yeah, because he doesn't take ownership of Michael at all.
Oh, okay.
Your son and shit.
Oh, he says, "Look at."
yeah.
Okay, makes sense. But yeah, no. First change of pace, you immediately hear Michael speak. He actually talks as a kid. You get more. In the original, didn't say a damn word the whole film.
Different age.
Different
Oh,
age.
yeah,
He's a little older than he was.
This one shows him killing animals.
They really go into the whole like, all right, so what would make Michael Myers? Because the original, you knew jack shit about him.
Dick about him, and he was like 6, and he just killed his sister.
Yep.
He only killed one person.
He only
before
killed
getting
one
locked
person.
up.
The kill count, obviously, much lower in the original. I mean, he starts off this movie with damn near as much as he finished the last movie with.
He gets locked up as a little kid with as many kills as the first Halloween. It's 6 kills in the house.
Well, because he kills the bully neighbor, Spy Kids. He kills Spy Kids with a fucking tree
branch.
Spy Kids was being a twat.
Spy Kids was being a twat.
I bet your mom will suck my dick
hell?
for a quarter
Right.
and shit. Like,
and then just random kid takes his freaking beanie, spits in it, and it's like, what the fuck,
yeah,
man?
he deserves to die for spitting in that kid's beanie.
Like, that's
just
such
alone.
he's just a piece of shit.
It's such a low point.
Hence
What
the
a
whole
twat.
why he was a vigilante with the first few kills.
But
What a fucktard.
It really so in the original he really only gets a couple kills with a knife, and he starts off this kill with a smorgasbord. He's got a tree and slitting the throat, baseball bat, just
that
straight
was
up
brutal.
stab. It just got it's all the gambit.
Yeah, he hits the boyfriend, and then he starts like seizing on the floor, and then just bludgeons him
That
to
is
death.
something
I'm like, oh my god.
the remake does is it really shows the body horror of what dying looks like, and it's just like just the
felt the deaths a little
convulsing,
more.
and it's just like
Well, that and just staring down the stepdad after slitting his throat, like just staring into his eyes when he was dying. I'm like, what the fuck?
It reminds me of the same feeling I get when watching the pigeon squirm in The Conjuring, just like so uncomfortable watching
just the life
death.
leaving it. Yeah,
I'm gonna see thief strolls after this shit. So like, it immediately starts off with a different vibe. He gets the kill count right up all the freaking stereotypical animal abuse with a dead cat in the backpack, or even they said cat. Was that a possum or a gerbil or a ferret or
cat
some
in
shit?
the backpack, and he killed a mouse in the sink.
Oh yeah, freaking! He goes.
I forgot about
Zeus,
that.
what was his name? Zeus or some? He's like, oh, he died. It's just like, excuse me, what?
Right.
But they do the. I think so Malcolm McDowell comes in, Dr. Loomis, and he's like, "Oh yeah, the kid's fucked up," and like Michael obviously hears it, and from then on, that's when he starts his killing spree. So it's like Dr. Loomis kind of just pulled the trigger, I guess. He
Yeah.
showed up and made him do his things. Oh, Beans is all over there having little dreams. Bean dreams. But yeah, Dr. Loomis is played by Malcolm McDowell in the remake. And as I said, very good cast. He's the stereotypical doctor who's kind of an asshole you kind of want to root for, but you don't want to at the same time. Because,
At first, it's like you don't really know his motives.
Yeah. And then you get the first appearance of the theme during the film when his freak out after he runs out of the therapy session and he just starts like destroying all the lockers and stuff as he's leaving the school. His first confirmed kill of the kid with a freaking bat. It's pretty messed up.
Oh yeah, in the woods.
Oh, I had a quote. My bad.
Okay.
The Spy Kids bully goes, "Hey, shit pants." I just wanted to say I liked that.
That is all.
All right. Duly noted. A shit pants.
Hey, shit pants.
But then you get a scene that very wasn't in the original. The Love Hurts scene. The montage with the mom stripping.
That was so weird. Like, I didn't.
It was like,
Okay.
And then this movie, I decided to have a counter of ass, tits, and the whole 9 yards. And I was keeping every time I saw ass or tits in a different scene, I go ass, tits, whole 9 yards. So I was keeping track of how much there was. And
That's what I'm going to start
lot.
calling pussy is the whole 9
Well, no,
yards.
you saw everything, the whole 9 yards. You know?
Hey, boys, I got some of the whole 9 yards.
Hey.
I ran the whole 9 yards.
But that's in the sister who you see is getting plowed by the freaking dude wearing the mask, which is
That's creepy.
creepy as all. I want to do it with the mask on. It's like,
why?
Dude, ooh.
It's also William Shatner's face, so why?
Right.
I forgot about that fact that was made from a bust of William Shatner's face.
I don't think I knew that.
Really?
No.
I'm showing you guys Michael Myers with the fade too, right?
Yes, that is he'd be styling.
Yeah.
I'll have to put that up.
Like that would be like if the girls are getting, they'd be like, no, you're still got a knife.
That'd
That'd make them
funny.
second.
As long as
Second
he's got
guess.
the fade, we can still do it.
As long as he's got the fade.
But real
my
quick,
God.
because I'll
What's
I'll backtrack. How did he do that elaborate duct taping of the stepdad without him waking up?
Dude, I was
The
thinking,
dad
I wrote
was
that
probably
down.
passed out drunk or something.
Well, even if you're drunk, that's a lot of duct tape. That's a lot of
I guess
Drink
it's
a
really
lot of
loud
booze.
because you think like that's just.
Drink a lot of booze.
I guess if you're actually blackout, then I guess I guess that's believable. The way he was acting, it's very believable that he'd be blackout drunk.
Possibly.
Also, if you did it the right way, like if you did it around the hands and the feet first, you probably wouldn't notice as much.
No, but I guess the idea like he didn't wake up at any point.
My quote
like,
was
he
that,
able
how do
to-
you sleep through all that fucking duct tape, no matter how drunk you are, was my exact quote. I was like, I don't care. That was a lot of duct tape. Clean cut tits. My freaking notes. This is my notes. Clean cut tits, home run bat. I was just like, that's what happens in the movie. He gets the clean cut, boobs,
that's what the
home run
movie
bat, does the whole.
It's true.
All
It's
right.
crazy to think that the medical examination is probably what set him off on his spree, because he obviously overheard. That's that note.
I thought it was interesting too how like not only did he talk in the beginning, but then after getting committed, he continued to talk. Like it was a little bit before he actually stopped talking to Loomis.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting too.
Yeah, he actually seemed kind of normal when he first got into the institution
Yeah.
because he didn't know what he did.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't until when he attacked the nurse that like brought up about the whole thing. It's
Did
like it
you-
seemed like it was the ugly thing like that would set him off.
Did you guys catch how many times he stabbed his sister?
17.
Hey!
You see how many times he stabbed his uncle
saying
or his stepdad? Numerous.
Numerous.
They say stab the sister 17 times and stab the stepdad numerous times.
No, they slit his throat and stabbed him numerous times.
Yeah, slit the
But the
throat, yeah.
sister stabbed 17 times in that weird ass news report. I don't like news report transitions like that, especially this movie's tone is all over the place.
I like it.
You want to harp on it?
Texas
I don't
Chainsaw,
hate this
but-
movie, but it is definitely not as well put together as the original.
No.
It's more of a I wouldn't even say it's more of a cohesive story. It's trying to do a hell of a lot more.
Like he's just trying to like give us more exposition and just give us more to work with.
Sometimes less is more in horror.
but, yeah. And that's why I think it works so well. For
This
the
movie
original.
keeps on trying to break itself down and psychoanalyze itself, not even giving you
Yeah.
time to do it yourself.
Trying to psychoanalyze Michael.
Yeah, make sure
for
you understand everything. Spoon fed.
Yeah.
Some stuff you just don't need to know. Just it is what it is.
But yeah, he remembered nothing, and I was like, Danny Trejo, because he appears when he's a kid.
Machete.
Right.
Hey, Mikey.
Just go inside your own head. It's like that was actually. I mean, it was good
I know,
advice
right?
if he wasn't who he
Wasn't
was.
who he was.
Because then it just made him even a more efficient killer, and he just actually made the masks, and then just, whew.
Woo, woo.
But I put a note, especially after the scene when he gets older.
35 seconds of that.
Yeah,
That
I
was
know.
so long.
In the when he's escaping and the
When he's
alarm's going up,
escaping,
I
the
thought
alarm-
that same thing.
Oh.
Dude, that was just my
alarm.
next note was, woo. I was just like, long line. I was like, God, that scene went on just a bit too long.
So did you know that Mikey was just misunderstood? He just really
Oh.
wanted to be part of Slipknot.
That's why he was making all those masks.
He's like, I want to be Mick Thompson.
He's like, can I be the new clown?
It'd be funny if Mick Thompson did that. Did the Michael
The Mike Myers mask.
Yeah,
That'd
'cause
be,
he's got that same like look, kind of that.
Yeah, you
yeah,
could
the
definitely pull it
big
off.
kind of build. He could totally be that as Halloween.
Oh, speaking of that, I put Michael is an absolute unit.
Dude, okay, you want to see my sense of that? Damn, they really gave Michael his Wheaties in prison.
Michael got big.
15 years later, after killing a nurse, after doing kind of good for a little while, he ends up killing a nurse with a fucking fork.
Woo.
And then freaking his mom kills himself, drives him insane. 15
yeah.
years later, he's a fucking tank of a man.
Standing up like that first establishing shot, you just get only the way the camera is framed, you only see like from his neck down. It's like, what the fuck? He still has the really long hair, and it's like draped over his face. You can barely see anything, so it's just like ominous and just creepy as all hell.
I've been trying to write down the death lines for some of the characters so I can remember all the kills. And the one that you guys missed was, for God's sake! Because the difference is he's in prison, and then the big scene in the original version, there's a group of like 4 cops. They're like, all right, Dr. Loomis has given up hope on Michael. We're transferring him to a different facility and all that stuff. So who are we moving tonight? Michael Myers. It's like, oh, that freak. It'll be da-da-da. They just go on. And he's all in chains. And they take him into like one of the rooms where they like close the gate front and behind him. And they have the girl in front with a shotgun and everything. And he just breaks his chains, uses them as a weapon, kills them all, slams them against the head, and the girl outside is like, oh, for God's sake! And then he just like kills her, slams her head against the wall.
God.
That's how there's extra kills. He kills 4 people in that scene, and then goes to Danny Trejo. Meanwhile, in the unrated version, they're not transferring him. The gratuitous rape scene happens, which is so fucked up. 2 redneck dudes just... Oh God, that was way more gruesome than I thought I'd ever see today.
Yeah, that was because I don't remember too much of this movie from the first time I watched it, but that was way more brutal than like I remembered it being. Like,
Yeah. So he only kills the 2 rednecks in that scene, obviously. So that's why he's got less kills in the unrated version than the
Vigilante
original.
Michael.
Right.
Yep.
Like another 2 kills where you're like, you know what? They're
They
better
deserved
off like
it.
that.
Yep, that was fine.
I just wish she did it sooner so it couldn't have happened.
But then it is immediately shown how evil Michael is with Danny Trejo's death.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
he kills him.
I was good to you, Mikey. I was good to you.
Evil swirly and
so-
the fucking TV.
Oh,
Hurts. Yeah.
It hurts
near
so
drowning
bad,
in the TV
dude.
was-
It ruins your Dane Cook's Snickers theory.
it does ruin the Snickers theory, and with that, I'll take a sip of our Snickertini because
Right.
you know.
Thanks for the Snickers.
So wait, Snickers theory? I don't think I know about this.
Yeah, there was a
So-
section in a Dane Cook stand-up where he had a crazy guy in the office, and he's like, if you have a crazy guy that you think is going to go postal, you give him a Snickers. And so he likes you, so that way when he goes postal, he doesn't kill you.
It's boom, every cubicle,
And he
boom,
just remembers. Okay.
Thanks for the Snickers. And
It's
then
one
he
of the
goes to
few
next
Dane
cubicle.
Cook jokes I remember.
Yeah.
That does. I mean, actually, if you didn't give me context, I would have just thought that was Dan
Yeah.
Cook.
It's very of its mid 2000s era.
It felt like it was stolen from another comedian. Yeah, I thought it was Dane Cook.
But yeah. But no, yeah. So I was really confused because like he didn't talk, and then all of a sudden now, 15 years later, he hasn't spoken a word in 15 years since he killed the nurse. No, we ate all the cookies.
Oh,
Oh,
you son of a. We're ending up an episode right now.
no, we're not ending the episode. He just got him with one of these.
I'm mad right now. I already yelled a lot in the podcast.
But dude, oh, I put really Rush.
Oh, right.
Tom Sawyer.
Today's
Tom
Tom
Sawyer.
Sawyer.
What
high
was
on
that guy's
you.
name? He was like, Joe Grizzly. I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch.
I'm Joe Grizzly,
Oh my
bitch.
god, that's
Big
actually
bro-
have IMDb
Big
pulled
Joe
up
Grizzly,
just for
bitch.
him. Big Joe Grizzly. Yep.
Big Joe Grizzly, bitch.
And I have two of his quotes here when he's taking a shit
Oh.
and he's like, I'm gonna read a nudie magazine. He's like, naughty girl.
Well, yeah, naughty girl. And
There's
then
the first
he
instance
says,
of the full 9 yards.
he's like, I'm about to blast out a double burrito extreme.
It's gonna be a
whatever.
while.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
And then he keeps getting it. He's like, let me pass my beast in peace.
yeah, let me pass my beast in peace, man.
Like, what the fuck? It's the lines from that guy are just gold.
Gold
And-
mine, Big
and
Joe
then-
Grizzly.
And then immediately he gets like violently beaten after that, and then his clothes stick.
It was another one where he kind of deserved
That's the
it.
origin of the jumpsuit, Big
Right.
Joe
I
Grizzly.
know, Big
Right.
Joe Grizzly.
Gets his
You gotta
sweet
get.
threads.
I bet you wanted to know where he got that jumpsuit. It wasn't just the truck on the side of the road
Right.
that they.
Like
kind
as
of
it came
go
up to that
over.
scene, like when it started, like besides the whole Tom Sawyer like moment, like I was like, oh, this is how he gets his outfit.
Yep.
So, along with how he gets his outfit, he then goes back. Okay, well, it shows Lori a little bit. She has to again deliver the pointless paper to the house, but Michael's at the house, and this is where he finds the mask. And me and Anthony talked about this a little bit. This mask, since it's not brand new, and they tried making it look tattered and old, it just looks like a movie prop. It's like the Annabelle thing where it's like it's made to look scary, so it
Yeah.
it's
doesn't
not like a
even look
real
scary
looking thing.
anymore.
It
Like,
looks like it was.
It's a fabrication. For,
It looks like the jeans that come pre-ripped.
yeah,
Exactly, yeah,
It just
exactly. It's
doesn't
like,
look real. I don't know. It just didn't make me feel anything like the original one, the white mask, and it's all new.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's fucking.
and it just
kinda
because
scary.
it looked more like just something you found. Like it was more real, so
Or
it was creepier.
Even the paper mache masks, his little Slipknot masks,
Slipknot
those
masks
were
were
The
fucking
one
scary.
he escaped in, like that orange one, like
Yeah.
that one. If he kept that the whole movie, that would have been more
I
intimidating.
was thinking because I'm like, wow, is he not really going to go back to the house and get it? But he does go back and get that in his knife. The
That's-
sentimental attachment to that knife. I mean,
Right.
he'd use it to kill his.
It's a KitchenAid.
Yeah, shit's expensive, yo.
The best.
But I put then it cuts from Joe Grizzly to the most stereotypical white family, Lori's family,
Oh,
talking about like the dialogue in the scene is so thick with
Well,
like
and-
convoluted in-joke references and
and
satire.
freaking what Lori does with
and
the freaking bagel. She's like,
bagel
she gets
is-
super sexual with them. Like, what the fuck's
Yeah,
happening?
It's like
That
5
was
minutes
super
of
weird.
cringe.
Right.
And once it cuts to the family, I'm just like, oh, just move on. I don't need to see this. I know they're white. Let's do
Right.
this.
And then it gets to the whole like walking down the street, meets up with Tommy, and I was like, and then Brandon pointed out, I was like, oh look, it took us the same amount of time in this movie to get to this point it did as the original.
What year is this in, dude?
No, they
1993.
so the original one has the year dates like October,
Yeah, this
Halloween
one doesn't.
1960.
It's
This
not
one just
established.
October 30th.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then
October
I get
31st.
such-
It's like
they show the same scene of Michael stalking Lori outside of the high school, and he's
Right.
standing next to like an '06 Ford Mustang.
Right.
I know it's
I
like
don't understand because then they go back and they show the TV and it's like a 1990s.
But no
TV.
one has like. You think in the 2000s people had cell phones? They had flip phones and everything. Like there's no cell phone usage in the
No.
film.
Well, even
There's-
their phones were more like it's seen more of the '90s.
It seemed like it, but I don't know.
That's
and
why
it
like I almost
never-
wonder if that Mustang was maybe like a late '90s model, maybe.
No, it
No?
was.
It didn't look like late 90s.
It's
I guess it did look more like the 2000s.
Yeah,
like
it's-
so I mean, realistically, you're probably right. That was probably just what is that a continuity error? Is that what that would be?
it's just a lack of tone or I guess it would be continuity. But if they had it would only be continuity if they had an older car earlier scenes and they switched to a newer car or something like that.
That's-
But it's
yeah.
just it's like a Starbucks cup in Game of Thrones. It's just it shouldn't be
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the only car because like what he was saying, like we only noticed it because like that was like a major scene in the original, but like any other car, like I didn't tend to like pay attention if it was even like a
well,
time.
in the remake he doesn't steal a car. In the original he has
Right.
the station wagon that he drives around in.
right. And
This
even
one
like
he just gets around.
true.
He doesn't have transportation. He's
Yeah,
just
because you don't have
there.
like the whole scene of them following like Annie and them. Like it was just like you only saw like the only cars. I guess you see that, you see Paul's, and I think Annie's maybe, but that's it. Like you don't really. There's not too much focus on the car, so it's easier to overlook that. Except for that one scene, just because it's like focused on it.
And then they get a couple...
Ass.
I know, ass, tits.
Tits.
Well, yeah, tits, Linda, slut. I was trying to get there. Like, I was trying to figure out... Because she calls herself that, all right? That's why I wrote it that. Like, am I a slut? And it's like, the way you're talking,
Like, if you have to
cheerleader
ask,
girl. Or, I don't... This is not sure she words it, but they call her that or something.
Right.
And it was like Annie, babysitter number 2. Same character name. Roughly the same character. But,
Touch my foot again. I fucking dare you.
I felt like stop. I felt like they made Linda like a little bit too. Because I feel like each one of the 3 of them had like their own personalities, and I felt like they made Linda too much like Annie. Because I feel like Linda was more
Character
neutral.
swapped.
Yeah.
kinda, yeah.
Because like Annie wasn't nearly as like kind of like.
I definitely liked
Like
Annie more
alpha.
in the remake better than the original. She was a more likable character.
She was.
But
But at the same time, like I feel like in the original, like I feel like the way the characters were set, there was more believable. Like I
Yeah.
feel like there'd be more characters like, or I feel like they'd be the way that they were.
yeah. Then basically we go from them walking home and we see the crucified possum at the grave instead of just the hole.
That was so much more
That's
brutal.
what the hell. And then we get the first sex scene with all the teens, with Linda and I guess the rocker dude. I guess that'd be Bob in this version.
Yeah,
They
it
don't
should
really
be
say
Bob.
his name. It's just some random dude that Linda's with.
Actually,
They
it's supposed to be Bob.
they go into the house. They go into the Myers house to freaking.
They went to the Myers
get
house
it
to
on.
fuck, and then he goes out
Yeah,
to
he gets Bob, yeah.
It goes out to the car, and then he comes back up in the thing. And then,
I put the subversive expectations because if you've seen the original, you know about the ghost, but
Yeah,
it's
the
Bob who
ghost
comes
joke.
up wearing the ghost
that
joke.
Was,
I was
that's why I
like,
pointed out.
what?
I'm like, that was good.
Yeah, that
like,
was
that was
funny.
that was a treat for the people that have watched the original.
But then it goes into the same thing. He gets killed, same exact way, basically. It's on the stairwell
and he
instead
even
of in
does
the back.
the-
Does
does
the
the
he did. I'm
thing.
like, all right, they know which scenes they need to recreate.
Right.
They know the important ones.
So he did good with that. Rob-
And then
Rob-
freaking
Rob-
Michael is now in the Casper outfit the second time. Here's your beer.
Right.
He's like, oh, come on, bring me the beer. Come on.
you idiot! Just toss me the beer.
Gosh. Ass tits.
What's the total ass tits count?
Vamp for a little bit and I'll count how many I've written down.
TNA. He's gonna get us a little bit of the TNAs.
Yeah. I wonder if it's. Do we think it's more or less than the amount of kills?
Less.
Less.
There's the amount of screen time. There's probably more screen time of ass and tits than there are dead bodies and kills, but
True.
there's less instances of them. Like Annie for the whole second half of the movie is topless because she's all bloody, and so you see her boobs like
Annie,
14
are you
times.
okay? I mean,
So
She ends up being okay, Annie.
I know. Out of all the characters to survive, she's one of the ones that makes
Right.
it in this.
I really didn't expect it.
I know.
I think I took her because I was doing the kill count. I took hers away multiple times because like, oh, she has to be dead. Oh no, I guess
No, she's
she has to
alive.
be dead. Oh no, okay, fine. And then you told me, I'm like,
oh
oh
no,
fuck
she's
it.
not dead.
She not no.
So yeah, 3, 4.
Oh man.
3.
So
Okay,
then-
go ahead.
no, you go.
So the whole scene when like Bob goes to get because I think it was Bob to get the beers from the cooler.
Yeah.
What kind of savage
Oh yeah.
puts
Fuck these
empty
people.
beer cans back in
In
the
their
cooler?
Even he says that.
And
I love that.
and who leaves their cooler just down in the van?
When
Just
it's like, just bring it with
the
you in the
cooler
freaking house.
and throw your trash away.
Right.
Like God
What the- it's
damn,
fun-
it's not that hard.
Yeah, but
too good.
savages. Like it actually upset us. As you can tell from
We traveled
So-
half the country with a cooler, and we did not have to do that.
So
it
far,
was
I have
always
3
with us.
instances of ass only, 7 instances of tits, and then you said you had 2 things of the whole 9 yards. I only had the one.
Two
Well,
things
some-
with the
oh,
whole
same
9
scene.
yards.
Because
Yeah.
there's that one scene. I guess my version of it, when I guess it's Linda who you see stand up naked.
Yeah, you see her.
I didn't get
9
this chance to
yards.
see the whole 9 yards in the
standing,
version,
and then when
so.
she like falls
Yeah.
down, her ass
So-
like right at the.
Definitely less than the
camera.
kills. That's
Yeah,
about
for
half
sure.
the amount.
Yeah,
But
still a lot.
Definitely, it's especially compared to the original. Oh, and then we get the iconic "How did Dr. Loomis get his gun?" scene.
Oh right, that
Oh
whole
yeah,
I think
goes to the gunshot.
Okay, just wrap it up. and,
This
like, you guys
thing will
still
hurt
talk to
it.
him.
This thing is if you want to blow its fucking head off.
Like, so what are you hunting? And then immediately cuts away from.
And then
What
it,
are you
it cuts
buying?
back to the cuts back to the whitest family in town hanging outside.
Yeah.
Did you expect that? What happened at the end of that scene?
No.
Oh my!
He looked away for a split second and missed it.
Oh my god! So they're just talking
literally-
about the Strode family outside, and Lori runs off with her friends, and it's kind of hanging out on the dad and mom. The mom goes inside. The dad's outside
Dad
smoking.
puffs on like a cigarette or something, and then
all of a
like
sudden-
just gets his fucking head cut off. Damn near.
oh my god! Insta decapitate. Like the scene goes in a second. I'm like,
Right.
excuse me, what?
I was typing a note and I missed it.
Right. And I had to rewind.
Yeah.
It just,
ridiculous.
the most brutal death over in a quick second.
Right.
And then goes inside and kills. Why does he kill the parents? He's just there killing them. I mean, like, does he know? I guess he was stalking
I guess,
Lori.
yeah, he was looking
What
for
I
her.
read is that he thinks it's like a Valentine,
like as a gift,
like
to
kind of
her?
like a gift or like I don't know.
I'm freeing you of your parents. So you can be with me.
Kind of like in some weird sadistic
Or like the idea
ways
like
of
his
doing it.
parents-
It's
well-
like more of a gift or something. But yeah, no.
Weird.
he's,
I guess
like,
he could be
trying
compared to his parents because like the stepdad was trash, but he liked his mom.
Yeah, I have no idea though.
Weird.
Yeah. He liked his mom and his sister.
His
And his
yeah.
mom kills herself because she's the mother of the devil. And
Yeah.
then his sister, who ends up being Lori in this film, which is, you know,
A weird twist on the
weird twist.
story,
I mean,
but-
it was brought up in the sequel in Halloween 2. That's kind of the plot device they went, but they really bring it into this film towards the end. It's like, oh, the Strode family, he sure knew a lot. The police officer knew a lot about who exactly
Right.
did that and called them. And
Well, I guess because he read the
The
book.
police
right?
officer in this one is also not like the police officer in the first one where you said he's very accommodating. And this one he
no,
goes,
this one he's
I
like,
hate your fucking book. You were getting
But
all
I
the
have
blood
it."
of the town.
Right.
well,
here.
I may have been born, but I wasn't born
Born
yesterday.
Hey, man.
I may have been
You're a
born.
rock star.
But I was not born yesterday. Okay?
God. And I like the thing that finally convinces him. I'm going to call the house you're talking about. You don't answer. Something's up.
Who has the time to create seasonal voicemail recordings?
No, absolutely not.
Thank you for calling. Oh, we're not here on the phone right
I
now.
know, right?
Ooh, it's like, all right.
He just did it to like reinforce his Halloween, even though we already know it.
I know, right? Short bus. That's
Okay, so there is a line that is
There's
not
the
very
short
PC,
bus.
but we're going to
Oh
go
my
into it because it is just
it
fucking
caught,
gold.
It caught me off so.
It did.
it caught me off
too.
guard, and I just was not expecting it.
And I wouldn't put it as a note, but Brandon's like, well, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, he was like, I said, if you're not going to put it down, I'm going to put it down because that just shocked me to my core hearing that. Like, just nowadays, you're not going to hear this line in a fucking movie, man. They're talking about who
It's Ben Tramer.
it is Ben. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Ben, Linda and Ben.
Yeah.
Linda's talking to Lori about Ben, and then she goes, well, isn't he retarded? And then she goes, well, yeah, he's retarded, but he's not like short bus retarded.
Dude.
And it's
it
just
is
like, oh my fucking God, like, you would not get away with that anymore.
This is only 14 years ago. It was just like,
Right?
woo.
Just goes to show you what a Weinstein-produced film will get you. Is
Yep, we
half
saw
an
that
hour's
with the
worth of
credits, we're
titties
like,
and somebody calling somebody else retarded.
Oh, dude. But it was so like, it was funny, but not so much what he said, but just the fact that he said
Just-
it. Or
yeah,
she said it.
you're just not expecting it, and then just boom, and you're
Right?
just like,
Like,
whoa.
Oh my God. Yeah. That was the scene.
He's retarded. He's just not short bus retarded.
So bad. Who talks like this? So yes, Nick, what's next?
Well, that's when it starts kicking off the actual climax, because he starts chasing them and doing all that stuff. So it's just a lot of murder and death and chasing in the last.
Well, then leading to that weird like.
Last 40 minutes of this film are the climax of him
Yeah.
chasing her, and it just it does. I feel like it
Goes on
drags
for a
on
bit.
way more
Yeah.
in this remake.
Especially in the attic.
The attic. I wrote like,
Oh,
another.
yeah, that scene went for a bit.
Because I talked about it in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, because I watched a lot of these movies in the same summer. I was like, I remember one of these movies where they were just stuck in the wall for way too long, and I thought it was that one. But rewatching this, it is definitely the scene trying to recreate where she's upstairs and like doing all that. She's hiding in a wall in this one, and I have some funny jokes. Okay, hold on.
funny
Funny.
joke.
It was one of the scenes where I laughed at myself. Am I gonna? I can't do a Yoda voice, but I would do the.
You're right.
Okay.
Funny
Where do
joke.
you? Hey, hey, Anthony. Can't do it. Do it.
Yeah, what's up, Yoda?
What do you think Michael Myers' favorite Pink Floyd album is, or least favorite, I should say? The Wall. Funny joke.
Hey, Anthony.
Yeah, what's
I can't do a Frank Oz. What do you think Michael Myers' least favorite 60s band is? The Doors.
Oh no.
Thanks, Kermit.
Yeah, that was that was my Frank Oz,
Evolved.
everybody. But I thought
Thank
I'm
you.
funny, damn it.
Those were pretty good.
I did like those.
Because he doesn't use a fucking door and just goes through walls like it's no one's business in
Right.
this film.
Oh yeah, there's a wall here.
Door, kill police officer, break through the whole door.
With
just
the
like,
police officer.
Dude, it just gets
Oh, dude.
brutal towards the end. I'm like chasing you down. I don't care what's in front of me.
Well, that's the terrifying thing about Michael Myers is he's coming like a steam train. You just know he's not going to stop.
No, and it's like
he
the whole,
might be slow.
the
but-
officers are there and they're like, we don't want to open the door. He's
Right,
out
we
there
understand.
still.
Like, please just open the door,
like,
and then right
no.
before it happens, blood.
All over the door that you can see through.
I know, right? Yeah. Sorry. Linda, wake up! Linda, wake up! I wrote that because they recreate the whole death in a graveyard scene because he steals Lori from the
Oh, yeah.
kids. The kids run away. Takes Lori to. I'm having a hard time keeping track of which house he's got everything
know,
set
right?
up in. Is that his own house that he's got the whole graveyard set up in? With the dirt
I
floor
honestly
and
can't
everything.
even tell
I'm
you.
assuming that's the Myers house.
At that
'cause it looks
point,
run
I
down.
was-
This movie can't even
I
get their
couldn't
math
track.
right for the age. So,
Well, that was the original,
you know,
I think. I don't know, dude.
Either or.
This
you
one
know.
they didn't put definitive dates. They just
Yeah,
wanted
this
it to
one
be
they didn't-
confusing.
They
yeah.
didn't even know the date for this one.
Well,
but,
because they couldn't go off the dates for the fucking original because no math worked.
yeah, true.
Wait,
But yeah, like Loomis shows up and they don't even do that. She falls out the window with that.
yeah,
they
and
do.
falls
They
on top
do.
of him.
This
Yeah.
climax just goes on forever.
It
He
does.
gets
Yeah.
shot. Dr.
Homie
Loomis
gets shot 3 times, gets back up, pulls her
Dr.
out
Loomis.
of the window.
They have a time to do the whole. Was that the boogeyman? Which felt so out of place in this film. Like that
Right.
line, I was like, oh.
And then
you
immediately
don't
afterwards,
you didn't
crash.
get to use that. As a matter of fact, I think it was.
Right.
It's like, yeah, you're not as iconic, not as the original, but okay. I wrote this line not knowing that he was in the sequel. I wrote, wow, Dr. Loomis isn't gonna be in Halloween 2 because he freaking gets grabbed by the head and like bloodied eyeball or something. Then it cuts to him not as bloody as he's dragging him
I know,
across the
right?
ground. I'm
I
like,
thought that was weird.
I
Like
thought
his
he killed
eyes
him.
seemed fine. I did too.
but then he's in the sequel. I was just like, oh. Never mind. I guess that note is wrong. I was trying to do a whole Rush Hour. Damn, that guy's not going to be in Rush Hour 3. It's too good.
Damn it, movie. Ruined my joke.
Yeah. Lori goes through some damn shit in this movie. She is
She does.
bloody and thrown around, knocked out a window. The original Jamie Lee
not
Curtis
too
doesn't
much.
really get too beat up. She gets
No.
stabbed a little bit and falls over. But
Yeah.
this one, she gets fallen down, thrown out a window, fallen down into a pool.
Well, yeah, well, and then like crawling through like the attic and then falling down. Like she was super bloody after that fall.
Dude, and she couldn't
That
even hold
rip-
up the gun when Michael was coming
Yeah.
at her. She's like,
At least she
"Ugh."
got damaged from that, whereas in the original, when she falls down the stairs, and
Staircase.
nothing,
It's like,
she
oh
was
yeah,
fucking up.
just run it
minor
off.
limp.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
This she got fucked up.
I know, right? Holy crap!
But yeah, after that fall, like I was surprised. I'm like, how are you even standing up? Like so, like at least they did that more justice. Like, it was more realistic. Like she was like out of it. Thanks, man.
But yeah, so she gets knocked down. Oh, there's that Reese's ASMR that we always
That was
wanted.
just the opening of it. I haven't eaten it yet.
I love
Macaroni with the chicken strips. Ooh, that's. I loved that.
Oh, let's not sample that.
Hey.
We're the best audio content out there.
The Saturday Boys, where we talk about games, music, movies.
And have ASMR
ASMR.
candy sessions. Oh.
When you least expect it.
Only on Halloween. It's the scariest thing you're going to hear this Halloween.
But no, and so does she? It looks like she ends up killing him at the end of this one because they fall out the window. She grabs the gun, points it at his head,
blows his
fires,
fucking
and it
brains
cuts to black, and do the theme.
She kills him, but then somehow he gets resurrected in the second
It's
one.
like,
That was also the 5th shot of the gun. Was that headshot?
yeah, because he gets. He gets shot once by the police officer, which I went, oh, he only got one shot off because they had a whole hallway between. The police officer only shoots him once before Michael closes the distance and slits his throat. Freaking brutal. And then he gets shot 3 times by Dr. Loomis. So it's 4 times hit.
Maybe I might have the count off. I might not have counted the shot from the officer. So
Yeah.
it might actually be 1 shot, then the 4.
He gets shot.
I don't know.
He gets shot way too much to
get
survive,
shot
but
a lot.
that's kind of the theme of Michael Myers. You just can't stop the dude.
Right.
Can't stop, won't stop. But no, yeah. Out of comparing between the original and the remake, I probably would rewatch the original more than rewatching the remake.
Me too.
Yeah, I picked the original.
I picked the original.
The remake isn't a bad film. It's just different tone. I feel like if I now were to wanted to watch one, I'd sit down and put on the original
Yep.
and just sit back, enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Every Halloween, I'm gonna put on the original rather than the remake.
Yeah.
I think I would enjoy the remake more if that actually was the first one, but having the comparison and just knowing the other one exists.
And I think, like we said, just keeping it a little bit more simple. I think they dive a little bit too much into the exposition of
Plus,
Michael.
trying to psychoanalyze everything going on.
I already
Just
know he's a
bit too
psychopath.
much.
I do have one qualm with the original. Is just that like one kill and then they lock him up forever and decide that he's a psychopath. Like, I felt like they could make the original. I felt like if he had a couple more kills, like if
It was like the
if
couple.
he killed
like
the couple and maybe like one other person, like killed 3 people while he was a child, just make him seem a little bit more intimidating. Like just killing his sister. I mean, yeah, that's still intimidating. It's still bad, but like I feel like this first one or the remake sets just such a precedent of like this motherfucker killed like half a dozen people. You know, like, but then in the original, it just makes him seem weaker almost. Going back from that one is my issue.
Yeah.
I almost think it would be perfect if take out the girlfriend, and then the boyfriend's running out, and then and then he dies in front of the parents, and then it does that same fade out, like or how it zooms out.
I do want to talk about one scene in the original though. When he kills his sister, they do. Since all POVs behind the mask, and he stabs her once, and then they do this favorite thing where he looks up and you just see the knife
side,
because
yeah.
he's like just stabbing away. It's an iconic shot, but I'm like, what is he doing?
Right.
Just stabbing the
You
air.
stab in the air.
We're on the air.
Right? And then she gets stabbed, and it's like, ow.
Ah.
Ow.
But yeah, so the original iconic. Get the great theme. Definitely gonna be
Score
looking
is
at
great,
it.
yeah.
I'm probably gonna watch the
a
remake. So
classic.
maybe
I'll watch the remake on
no,
Halloween.
not. I want to watch
No,
the
I'll watch the original. On Halloween.
yeah original Halloween. I'll watch the sequel, the 2018 one, and the new one coming out.
I
I'm
will
excited
say,
about that.
Yeah, we should watch the 2018 one. Then we'll all get together
Next-
and watch the new.
Next year we'll talk about the official, I guess, canon storyline they're doing, and
Yeah, the
new
2018,
one.
the 2021.
Because we'll do the go from the 78 to the 18 and the 2021 one next year. So
yeah, covered again next Halloween.
the sequels, see how the franchise does after this, because there's supposed to be 3. There's
Yeah.
supposed to be Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills coming out next week, and then
Halloween
another one in a couple
in
years.
20 yeah, I saw
Halloween
that.
Ends, I think.
Halloween Ends is the name. Yeah.
It's like 3 years or something. So this is the A New Hope second. So this is going to be a complete story that's coming out this week, but we'll see.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think we're gonna be doing a holiday seasonal thing, kind of like how we did this Halloween October seasonal thing. We'll pick like a, some theme shit for that. But in the meantime, we're gonna be having some cool ones for November.
Oh, I'm excited for November's lineup here.
Yeah, we'll.
I'm going to be gone for a week, so I'm going to be doing just straight research on all these episodes. It's great.
Yeah, we all will be. But little sneak peek: it's Harry Potter, Mario 64, and
The Beatles.
Yep.
The big ones.
So yeah, some big ones. Expect long episodes.
Yeah, this one's a long one, too. We're about at an hour and 45 right now, so.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a lot of data, but hey,
Yeah.
we're getting good.
I think that's about all I got, though.
Yeah, it's about all I got. I love the original now. I'm going to definitely add it to
Right.
my Halloween movie.
Once I can
list.
watch it consistently with.
Well, I'm not the biggest fan of body horror, and this is more of tone horror. This is
Yeah.
totally up my alley. So
It's not a short film. It's not a short bus.
no.
Facts.
Where can we find us, everybody, on social media?
Pickled Brandon End Credits Official, and the Saturday Boys Pod for me and us.
Nick Benz 9001
Concise Koala.
Anthony's going to be streaming he is streaming
been.
Halloween
has
stuff.
been streaming Halloween stuff. This is at the end of the month. Go back and check the VODs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Or
He's been
YouTube.
uploading the
Or
VODs.
YouTube. Oh, yeah, you've got them on YouTube now. You're getting those up. That's
Yep.
exciting.
Yep.
Going back to Dark Souls after this for a little bit.
Most likely, yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out with us. And
Happy
watch out
Halloween.
for Michael Wires.
Yeah, happy Halloween.
Halloween.